West Virginians have special kinds of problems, and that's where you get into a difficult subject like climate change. We're going to have to face up to that. We've got people all over this state who are trying to scare coal miners, and who are scaring coal miners, telling them the world is coming to an end, and they're going to lose their jobs, and that coal doesn't have any future. And what they're not telling them is that if we turn our backs on the problem, that what's going to happen is that, number one, natural gas is going to replace coal in power plants. And you just ask the head of a power company that, and then they'll tell you that. The natural gas is very abundant in West Virginia, but it's also got 50% of the carbon that coal does. And then what they never tell you is that if you don't do anything, then the EPA is going to do it to you, for you, or for you, to you. Either way, it's not going to be good. And Wall Street's not going to be interested because they don't have any predictability, because there's no bill. Because a bill talks about predictability. Wall Street understands, so that they'll free up money to encourage power plants. And if you, in the meantime, work it out so that power plants have a reason to want coal, and you know how you do that? It's very simple. It's very simple compared to healthcare. You just make sure you have the technology, and that's what Governor Manchin and I were doing up in New Haven yesterday. They took a little slice of their emission out of one of their stacks, and they made a test case of it. It's never been done in the history of the world. That's why there was press from all over the world, China, Japan, every place you could think of, there to cover it. And they took that little slice of emissions, and they targeted it, and they cut out 90% of the carbon in that little slice. And they've already dug a well that goes down 2 miles underground, and has a tremendous geological base, and they're fortunate in that, because not every place in West Virginia does, and that's a problem that we all have to face up to. But it's a matter of doing research. How do you make it technologically possible to clean up coal in a way that is affordable, but you make sure that the government pays for it? Particularly at the beginning. Then when the market system begins to work better, then Wall Street will fund it, people will want it to happen, and it will happen. But you'll be preserving coal miners' work and making sure that coal is our destiny forever. I don't want to walk into a house and turn on the light switch and nothing happens. Well, if you don't solve the problem of coal, that's what's going to happen. The light switch isn't going to do anything. Because you can take all the green things that are going on, all of which I approve of, and the nuclear, which is 20% of our electricity now. We'd have a hard time building a nuclear power plant in West Virginia. We'd have to do it on the side of a mountain. It would be kind of awkward, you know, those stacks of people put aside, etc. But other states can do that. I'm not thrilled about that, but if that will help, you know, I'll allow that. But nothing can replace coal. Coal's always going to dominate. And we have it, we have the best of it. We export most of it overseas, a lot of it, because people want it because it's such good coal, such low sulfur coal. It's really, really good coal. But we also use it in our own state, and we use it in other states. They buy our product. So I don't want to scare people about climate change. I want people to get together and turn off those TV sets and, you know, those people who want to scare coal miners so that nobody will do anything. And all they're doing is they're sealing the fate of coal miners. And I resent that. I don't like it. I'm not into it fully yet because I have to finish up with healthcare, but I am going to be. And I'm one of the 5 committee chairmen that Harry Reid has picked out to decide what's going to happen on this. And I'm glad of that, because the 3 of the 5 of us come from coal states. And we're not going to mess around with the future of coal miners. But coal miners don't know that, because they don't care about what's going on in Washington. Neither most people. It's kind of a strange world up there. I know, Brian, I hesitate. Brian, if I ever stop talking, you can tell us how strange we are up there. But all I want is solution. I want to solve people's problems. And if it takes a fight, then let's have a fight. if it takes deep public policy work and then you have to develop your thinking and it takes time, well, we got that. Because we don't have to do coal in a big hurry. We need technology, we need the money, which the government's going to supply. We've got about $14 billion now. I want $25 billion total, and we can get it. We can get that. It's not hard. It sounds a little crazy, but it's not hard for such a huge problem as that. And then coal miners can relax, and Governor Manchin can know that his state is where coal is so dominant, so psychologically glues us together. And so Governor Manchin can go about all the problems that he's got to worry about without having to add that one on top. So technology, money, and time, and we have all of those things. We cannot fail in this. But that message has got to get south somewhere. It's got to get into the coal fields. And it isn't. I had a couple of people tell me, like, Jay, you better get your profile higher on climate change. Well, it'll get higher, I guarantee you that, but I got to finish up with health care. Only 24 hours a day.